What if I told you the solution to one of man's most private struggles doesn't come from a lab, but straight from the earth? What if, long before the little blue pill, ancient healers had a secret for keeping men full of vigor well into their old age? And for centuries, this powerful knowledge was mostly forgotten, pushed aside by modern medicine. Today we're pulling back the curtain on one of those ancient secrets, a powerful root that's been respected for thousands of years, and we're going to see how its legendary power stacks up against the giant that is Viagra. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, all built around a tiny pill. But for a lot of men, that pill comes with a cost that goes beyond the price tag. We're talking headaches, indigestion, and that weird feeling of needing a chemical just to feel like yourself. Millions of men are frustrated, and they're looking for another way, something that feels less like a prescription and more like getting their natural vitality back. What they don't know is the answer might have been hiding in plain sight all along. Let's be honest, when drugs like sildenafil, you probably know it as Viagra, showed up, it was a game changer. It gave men a direct medical solution for erectile dysfunction, which affects a shocking number of guys out there. It was a tool, a way to get back a part of their lives they thought was gone for good. But that's not where the story ends. For every success story, there's a guy dealing with those annoying side effects. For others, it's the cost, or just the hassle of planning your love life around a pill. This has created a modern problem. We have a fix that works, but it's a very specific synthetic one. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Sure, it gets the job done, but it isn't exactly elegant, and it can cause some collateral damage. This has pushed people to look for something different. Not just because they have to, but because they want a more complete approach. One that doesn't just fix a single problem, but nourishes the whole system. People are looking for something that works with their body, not just on it. And that search is leading them back in time. Long before the first pill was ever created in a lab, ancient cultures in places like China, Korea, and Peru had a really deep understanding of the human body. They didn't see vitality as just an on-off switch. They saw it as a sign of your overall health, energy, and balance, what they might call qi or life force. Their pharmacies weren't filled with chemicals. They were filled with roots, herbs, and plants, each with its own job. These ancient healers were masters of just watching and learning. They knew which plants could boost your stamina, which could sharpen your mind, and which could spark desire and performance. This knowledge wasn't in textbooks. It was passed down from generation to generation, like a living library of natural medicine. In our rush for quick scientific fixes, we've dismissed a lot of this as just stories or folklore. But what if they weren't just stories? What if these ancient healers knew something we've forgotten? And what if one of their most valuable remedies holds the key to the exact problem modern science is trying to solve? The secret isn't some crazy exotic plant from a forgotten corner of the world. Actually, it's one of the most respected herbs in all of traditional medicine. We're talking about ginseng, specifically Panax ginseng, which you might see called Asian or Korean red ginseng. For thousands of years, this gnarled, man-shaped root has been the foundation of Eastern medicine, valued as a tonic for overall health and a long life. Emperors and noblemen went looking for it, believing it could boost energy, cut down stress, and most importantly, fire up their virility. It wasn't thought of as a quick fix for one problem. It was seen as an adaptogen, a fancy word for something that helps your whole body handle stress, whether it's physical, chemical, or biological. Taking Panax ginseng wasn't just about improving one part of your life. It was about lifting up your entire well-being. It was believed to build resilience, enhance stamina, and create a powerful, deep vitality that would naturally show up in every part of a man's health, including that part. This way of thinking is completely different from how a drug like Viagra works. For a long time, all the talk about ginseng was just based on tradition and stories people told. But now, modern science is finally catching up, and what they're finding is pretty amazing. Scientists have found these active compounds in Panax ginseng called ginsenosides, and it turns out they seem to work in a way that's incredibly relevant to how an erection works. Here's the simple version. One of the keys to an erection is a little molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax and open up, which lets more blood flow where it needs to go. This is the exact same process that Viagra targets, but Viagra does it by blocking an enzyme called PDE5. Now, new research suggests that the ginsenosides in Panax ginseng can actually help your body produce more nitric oxide. So, while Viagra acts like a bouncer, stopping an enzyme from shutting the party down, ginseng works by turning up the music, encouraging the body's own natural process to get things flowing. And the evidence is piling up. Multiple scientific reviews and studies have found that taking Panax ginseng seems to improve sexual function in men with erectile dysfunction. One review from 2021 even called it a promising herbal remedy for ED. This isn't just folklore anymore. This is ancient wisdom getting a thumbs up from modern science. It points to a way to get better that feels more like restoration than a temporary patch. Now, ginseng isn't the only natural remedy you'll hear about. The internet is flooded with so-called herbal Viagras. So let's take a quick look at the other big names. First up, there's horny goatweed. I mean, the name says it all, right? It's been used in traditional Chinese medicine forever as an aphrodisiac. What's interesting is that it contains a compound called icariin, which, like Viagra, messes with that same PDE5 enzyme. But, and this is a big but, studies show it's way less powerful than sildenafil, and most of the convincing research was done in a lab or on animals. We just don't have a lot of good human studies yet. Then you've got maca root, which comes from the Andes in Peru. Maca has a great reputation for boosting libido and making you feel more desire, and some small studies back that up. But when it comes to actually fixing the mechanics of erectile dysfunction, the evidence isn't as strong. It seems to be better for putting you in the mood than for the physical performance itself. Finally, there's yohimbine, from the bark of an African tree. Some studies have shown it can work, but it comes with a pretty serious list of potential side effects, like anxiety, high blood pressure, and even heart palpitations. Because of that, a lot of experts say to be very careful with it. So, while there are other options out there, Panax ginseng really stands out. It has that amazing combination of a long, trusted history and a growing pile of modern science backing up its effects on erectile function. So here's the bottom line. Is Panax ginseng better than Viagra? The honest answer is, it really depends on what you're looking for. Viagra is a powerful, reliable, and fast-acting drug. It's FDA approved and its effects are proven. For guys who need a dependable, on-demand solution, it's a medical miracle. It's a fantastic tool for a very specific job. Panax ginseng offers a different road. It's not a magic bullet you take right before you need it. Its effects are usually more gradual, building up in your system over weeks or months. But its benefits seem to be much broader. It doesn't just block one enzyme. It works to improve your overall energy, fight fatigue, and support your body's natural ability to create blood flow. Think of it like tuning up your car's entire engine, instead of just slamming on the gas pedal. For the man who's looking for more than just a momentary fix, for a real foundational improvement in his vitality, ginseng is a pretty compelling option. But you have to remember this. Natural doesn't automatically mean safe for everyone. Ginseng is usually well tolerated, but it can cause side effects like trouble sleeping for some people, and it might interact with other medications, especially blood thinners or diabetes drugs. So, if you're thinking about exploring this ancient secret, the very first and most important step is to talk to your doctor. Seriously, this is non-negotiable. Unregulated supplements can be a waste of money or even dangerous, so getting professional advice is the only way to do this safely. If you and your doctor agree it's a good option for you, look for a high-quality Panax ginseng, sometimes labeled as Korean red ginseng, from a brand you can trust that uses standardized extracts. This helps make sure you're getting a pure product that's consistent from dose to dose. The search for vitality is as old as we are, and as we've seen today, sometimes the best answers aren't in the latest invention, but in the wisdom we've forgotten from the past. The story of Panax ginseng shows that ancient medicine and modern science don't have to be enemies. In fact, when they work together, they can offer us a more complete and powerful path to feeling our best. Have you ever tried a traditional remedy for vitality? What was your experience? Share your story respectfully down in the comments. And if you found this look into forgotten knowledge valuable, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more, and turn on notifications so you never miss another journey into the secrets of health.